Hi, it's Lisa Unger. I'm here at Inkwood Books in Tampa with New York Times bestselling author Mary Kubica. She came to Tampa, you guys, to hang out with me, and we're going to be doing an event here at the store, but right now we're here on Facebook Live. Welcome, Mary.
Yeah,
how's it going? How's the tour going?
It's good so far. I was on the road last week in New York City and Connecticut, and a stop at home at Anderson's Bookshop in Naperville.
Oh, yeah. And I'm going to be there in a couple weeks, too. We're going to hang out there again, so that's really cool.
I can't wait.
So, hi, this video is going to be up for a while. If you're joining us live, definitely chime in, ask questions, send us your heart and like emojis. And if not, tune in later. If you're tuning in later, ask questions and stuff. We'll be checking in later and answering questions online as well. So I'll teach you how to do that.
Okay, thank you.
So Facebook Live is one of these things that we do as authors. Being on the road is another thing. So what do you like the best about being on the road?
That's a really good question. I think the thing I like the most about being on the road is just getting to talk to so many readers. Writing is a pretty individual task. I sit behind my computer by myself and talk to my characters in my head.
Right.
But to actually get out and share the love of books with readers really is pretty awesome. I love that.
Yeah, that's one of the best things about it. I was just at BoucherCon this past week, and I always say that BoucherCon is like the convention for people who would rather be in a preferably windowless room reading. And so that's kind of true for writers too. We always want to be like sort of writing and working on our stories, and then every once in a while they let us out into the world, and like we get to meet people who are reading our books, and that's really super gratifying.
Oh, absolutely. It's pretty surreal when a book or a character really resonates with a reader, and you can talk about that.
Right.
And I love it.
Because when else do you get to do that?
You don't,
it's like when you're out there and you're with booksellers, and then of course with librarians, and like and your readers, and these are like the only people that are as crazy about books, as crazy as you are, and as crazy about books. So you can really, it's the first time I think that you really talk about your characters with people, because you have the conversations with your editor, but it's always like sort of with the mind of making the book better and stronger. But then when you're in book groups and on the road, it's like awesome. You can actually be in that story world with your readers.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It makes it all totally worth it. And
so
I was just going to say, this tour is particularly exciting for me too, because I get to be with a lot of authors.
I know, it is like a
yourself
friend
on the
tour.
road.
Yeah.
It is. Yes, I was with Lynn Constantine, Wendy Walker, Kimberly McCreight last week.
Hi, Diane.
Lisa today, Megan Miranda tomorrow. So
Megan Miranda tomorrow, and that's in Charlotte. Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, so I'm
that's
really excited.
Really cool.
So it's making it an extra special tour for me.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of us are doing more of that, and just getting together on the road and stuff, and it makes it just. I think it's really fun for us, of course, and that's important. But I think it's also really fun for our readers, right?
Yes.
I mean, because they really get to hear that interplay, and again, there are certain things that you can talk about with other authors that you kind of can't talk to anybody else about, right?
Oh, absolutely. I think that there's so many things that come up when I'm in conversation with another author that don't necessarily come out when I'm just talking.
Yeah, and do you feel like in your life, do you feel like it's very compartmentalized? I feel like there's the person that sits down to write, and then there's the person that gets up to pick up my daughter from school, and then and the person who carts her around and does all the mom stuff and the house stuff. And do you feel like those are two very different parts of yourself?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And I think it's hard. I love my non-author friends dearly, and they're wonderful, wonderful people. But I think that what we do and the lives we lead, and I think that that's something that only another author can really understand.
Absolutely.
So I absolutely love being able to sit down with other authors and just talk about some of that.
Absolutely. And likewise, it's nice to not have to talk about it with your other friends. So there's kind of that balance in your life, or I feel like if I'm at Ocean School and somebody says, "Oh, I love your books," I'm like there's a moment of disconnect where I'm like, "What books?"
Right. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm just Ocean's mom, so. But I I mean, but that's just. I think that's part of it because it definitely is a different part of your brain.
Absolutely.
So after Charlotte, then is it home for you?
So after Charlotte, then I have a couple stops in Pennsylvania, and then next week I'm on the road again. I'm home for the weekends, and the next week I head off to Toronto, Calgary. I have a couple events with AJ Finn.
Okay, that's going to be exciting.
Houston and Dallas. I have an event with Minty Magia next week in Houston as well.
Okay, so it's going to be great. In just a few minutes, we're going to be here at Inkwood Books. I'm just going to let you know that if you can't get to this event tonight, or if it's a couple days even later, and you're like, oh my gosh, I really want a signed copy of Mary's book or my books, because they're always here. You can always get in touch with Stephanie at Inkwood Books. It's just inkwoodbooks.com, and she'll have signed copies, and you can go ahead and you can go ahead and order them, and they'll send them to you. So it'll just be like you can tune into this video and get a signed book, and it'll be a lot like you were even here. Isn't that great? Oh, and it looks like Book Clubbish asked a question. They said, do you remember when your love of writing began?
That's a good question.
Okay, why don't you answer that, and then we will move on to our next event, like right on the other side of the bookshelves.
I was like 8 or 9 years old, and a cousin wrote a story that she shared with me, and I was I loved her story, but even more so, I loved this whole like new concept that people wrote books, and this was something I could do and create lives and worlds from scratch, and I don't think I've stopped writing since.
Perfect. Excellent. Great question. Thanks, Book Clubbish. And thanks, Mary, for agreeing to do the Facebook Live. We kind of raced here from Indian Shores, like fighting traffic so that we could, get Mary out to even more people in the area. And we're going to have a blast tonight. And definitely, if you're tuning in later, this is Lisa Unger and Mary Kubica, and her new book is fantastic. You definitely want to get it when the lights go out. I mean, it's a completely immersive thrill ride. You're going to put it up, and you are not going to put it down because it's fantastic. Hi, Mrs. Mecca. That's my daughter's kindergarten teacher.
I love it. That's awesome. Hi.
Hi, and Erica. So definitely, keep checking in here, sending us your questions and your, interact, chime in, and all of that. And you can always get a copy of Mary's book here at Inkwood Books, and any place else that she's going to be on the road too. You can always call up and get a book. Thanks again. Happy book tour.
Thank you.
And we'll be talking again in a little bit. Bye. Guys.